start with Ira Schofel from Warchan on your right.
Hey Darrell, welcome. When you, obviously growing up so close by, I know Florida State was a school you were real interested in coming out of high school. Has it settled in? Like, does it start to feel comfortable now? Like, wearing those colors and actually being part of the program?
Yes, it feels amazing. I'm happy to be here, playing in my backyard. I just feel like it's home, so I'm good.
Next will be Brendan Simone from Knowles 247 on your left.
Hey Darrell, what was the recruiting process like for you upon entering the transfer portal? You committed to FSU quickly, but was it hectic at all after that?
Yes, it was, but I'm just happy I made a decision coming Florida State.
Brendan?
Another one. Can you explain why Florida State, why it was a good fit for you, and ultimately what you like about being here?
I'm in my backyard. I can help out with my parents, my little baby sister, and just be happy. Like, I'm happy I'm home, so I can help them out any chance I get. So.
Next will be Hassan from Tallahassee Democrat, second row.
Yeah, you mentioned, you played back over here. Who recruited you? Was Josh Farmer one of the players that kind of recruited you to come back, or what was that like?
Josh, man, that's my boy. We on the phone with each other every night, just laughing and giggling. Just reminisce how we played together in high school and how everything would be great if we come back this film and play with each other. So we talked about that. You feel me? It ain't nothing. I'm just happy to play with him. So.
Next will be Allison Posey from WTXL in the back.
Hey Darrell, you mentioned Josh, but also Coach Fuller. I mean, to be reunited with Coach Fuller too. Just what has that been like? And just how happy are you to be back here at Florida State?
It been smiles all around. Every time I see him, man, I give him a big hug, smiling, tell him thankful for everything he done for me. Thankful for everything he done for me and what he did for me in high school and how we got to this point. He stayed on me, so every time I see him, I just give him a big hug and smile. Yeah.
Come back to Ira on your right.
You, coming out of high school, you were more as like a defensive end, right? And did you know back then that you were going to bulk up into what you become, or did you think you were always going to be like more like a outside pass rusher?
I knew I was going to be a D tackle from my head size. I had a big head, so man, I knew I was going to get bigger, so I knew I wasn't going to stay at end.
All right, next question will come to Zoom for Matt Baker from the Tampa Bay Times.
What were kind of your impressions of Florida State watching them come up from far last year?
Say that again?
Your impressions of Florida State watching them last year.
Oh, they had a solid year. They had a good season. I was glad to see it.
We'll go back to Allison in the back.
We've talked to guys from Gadsden County before, and just to represent the county, a lot of people make it out, but to represent, to be back, just what does that mean for you?
It means a lot. Help kids in my community, them looking up towards me, let them know that if I did it, they can do it. Just motivation to them, to be honest. They happy for me, and I'm just happy to give back to my community.
We'll go back to Brendan, front row on your left.
What are your early impressions of the defensive scheme? I guess what stands out to you about how Coach Fuller uses his defensive tackles?
Oh man, they forward, man. Like, we about to be straight dominant this year, so I love his scheme.
And then, are you going to be a one technique, a three technique? Have they discussed that with you of how you specifically will be used?
Man, Odell taught. I mainly like the one, but I can play both.
Ira?
We talked to some of the guys yesterday, and after the 10-3 season that Florida State had last year, people are setting their goals even higher, talking about championship and things like that. Is that something that players are talking about? Did they talk to you about that when you were, thinking about coming to Florida State? How big of a conversation is that?
Nah, we just take one day at a time. Like, we see it, but we ain't into that. We just working. Yeah.
All right, next question will be on Zoom. Matt Marshall from the Orlando Sentinel.
Good morning, Darrell. I wanted to ask the whole transfer process. How did it go down? And what were your impressions of getting into the portal?
Like I said, man, Florida State in my backyard, and my mom has health issues, so I just came back to help out with my mom, and this the close school to home, so I'm grateful for that.
I understand you'll have to probably get a waiver because you already transferred once. What kind of information, they give you a timeline or an idea of when you'll know for sure whether or not you'll be able to play this season?
It's a process. Everything going through, it's a process.
We'll go to Aslan Hajavandi from Warchant in the back.
I know some things are bigger than football, Darrell, but this rivalry is kind of a big deal with Miami and Florida State. Was there anxiety when you had to approach the coaching staff of Miami and ask them to leave you, and how'd that go?
I mean, no, I just gave it to him straightforward. I know it's a bit rivalry, but my family more important to me than football, so yeah.
Go back to Brendan on your left.
You mentioned your relationship with Josh a little bit. Can you kind of discuss that a little bit more? I guess how you first met Josh and what about his personality kind of clicks with you to make you guys such good friends?
We met my 11th grade year. We weren't really clicking at first because he was new, so we weren't really talking. Then he gave my first pair of gloves, Navy, so it was blue and yellow. Yeah. So when I got to know him, we started to click. His personality, I like being around him. He helped me change my settings, mindset, and everything. Cause I was a troubled kid, so with him coming, the Gadsden was a big deal, impacted my life. So I'm grateful for him.
Aslan.
Darrell, did anything change in your mind about how you thought about Florida State after you played them last season? I mean, just from a football perspective, what you saw on tape that week and then playing them, did anything kind of change in your mind about what you thought about this program?
No, sir. It's football. Things happen, so I ain't look at it no different.
Tyra.
What, I'm sure from the original recruiting process and just being around, you've seen Odell coach. What kind of things did he tell you about, or what kind of things has Josh and other people told you about how Odell's going to push you as a coach?
Technician-wise, get my technique better and just work me.
Aslan.
This will be your third different locker room that you've been at the college level. A lot of the guys that have been the same sort of path of you have transferring have mentioned the sort of family dynamic here, the brotherhood, if you will. I know you haven't been here long enough maybe to fully embrace it and see it in action, but what have been your first sort of impressions of just how close guys are? Is that kind of a special thing that
How they treat each other. They have respect for each other and how they carry themselves.
Go back to Hassan, second row on your left.
Yeah, on that same note, what are your early impressions of Mike Norvell?
A great dude, man. He has so much energy, so I love it. I love it. He has so much energy. He's a great dude, care about you. I just love him.
Brendan.
There are a lot of defensive tackles on the roster with experience. Is that ultimately a good thing? Are you excited about the depth that you guys have at that position group?
It's a good thing. I love competition, love depth. I mean, at that group, you need depth. So with everything going around, it's a good opportunity to compete and everything. So.
Feel good? All right. Thanks, Darrell.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.